and I tend to preach when I talk, so I wrote a very short little thing that I'm going to read instead of just randomly speaking. Pondering on what I might say to the both of you in a speech, I wanted to make sure that whatever it was, that it would be something different than what Kaylee would say. So I started thinking about how my perspective would be different than hers, and I have come to the conclusion that my 12 years of experience at this thing called marriage is probably a good idea for me to impart my vast knowledge on you, hoping that in turn your marriage could be as amazing as Carrie and I's. You could be as awesome of a couple as we are. While most of this advice is for Jonathan, the first one is for both of you. I'd like for both of you to turn and look at one another. Take a good look at your new spouse. Jonathan, notice how incredibly beautiful your new wife is. Kelsey, notice how impeccably handsome your husband is. And now realize that this is as good as it gets. From here on out, it's all downhill. Jonathan, when it's time to figure out where you're going to eat, and Kelsey says, I don't care, you pick, know that she's lying and demand that she tells you where she wants to go. When you have a baby and the doctor asks you to help out by holding her leg, nicely tell him no. There are wonderful memories that happen in the delivery room that you'll never forget, but all of them should come after the baby comes out. Anything before that will scar you forever. If Kelsey has to tell you that she needs a romantic night out or a weekend getaway, you've already lost all of the points that you could have won by taking her on one, so just save your money. When you argue, never, and I do mean never, impersonate the way she just sounded when she told you what she told you. Always tell her that you need to leave 15 to 20 minutes before you really do. Marriage has a funny way of messing with a woman's ability to tell time. Honey. If she asks you how she looks in an outfit, quickly fake an injury. When she's telling you how to drive, she's only giving you suggestions to help make you a better driver. But when you tell her how to drive, you're insulting her very womanhood. So duck. If you are a light sleeper now, begin pretending to be a hard sleeper. This will benefit you greatly when you have a new baby at the house. And any joke that she has laughed at before you said I do, they're no longer funny. In fact, you are now the least funny person she's ever met. And I promise you that my own wife has not laughed at any of this advice. And now to the serious part of the speech. A few months ago, Jonathan texted and asked me for a married man's advice as he was experiencing nerves that come with asking someone to marry you. And what I explained to him is a short story of what being a best friend is about. And my hand is being nervous at the moment too. You see that I have been extremely blessed man when it comes to the friends that God has given me in my life. When the Fulda family moved to Indiana from Michigan and Bill started as our pastor, I had no idea that I had just inherited two of the best friends that any person could hope for. Not only have Jonathan and David been my very best friends, but I consider them my brothers. Whether it was the time we pushed a car down the interstate and we were picked up by a toothless truck driver, when Jonathan and I put bras on each other and sat waiting for our friends to come in and discover our silliness. Whether it was eating Grandma Fulda's yummy apple crisp, sneaking to Steak and Shake during a 30-hour famine fundraiser for some large chocolate milkshakes, playing pranks on each other in a cabin in Pennsylvania on youth trips, or playing basketball in front of the church parsonage, we've had some of the most fun times together. And not only have we experienced the good times, but we've always been there for each other in the bad times as well. I was honored to be a pallbearer for Grandpa Fulda's funeral, and greatly appreciated your friendship when my grandfathers both passed away. Out of all of that time, all of those memories, both good and bad, none of it compares to the deep friendship that comes between a man and his wife. The greatest joys in your life are still to come, and in those moments, you'll have your very, very best friend, Kelsey, sharing them with you. The hardest moments of sickness or sorrow are still to come in your life. And in those moments, you'll have the very best of friends, Kelsey, sharing them with you. Though the past doesn't change and the friendships you've always have enjoyed will be friendships that you can take with you into the future, what you're about to experience is the greatest adventure that you've ever had. Buckle up and get ready for the ride.